911, what is your emergency?
There's a lady with a knife stabbing somebody in the north.
She's stabbing somebody?
side.
Do you have a description of her?
Yeah, she's a black female. We got eyes on her. She's walking towards Lorraine.
Oh, she's outside now?
She's outside walking
Okay.
with a knife in hand.
This black American woman you see publicly waving a knife, once you find out what she is planning, you will be horrified. So, what is the terrifying act she intends to carry out? How will she eventually be caught? And what is the reason behind her committing such a dreadful act? How did this woman arrive at the store? She wandered through its crowded aisles filled with strawberries and took a sharp knife without anyone noticing her. We will analyze all that questions in this video. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, fans. My name is Omar. Welcome back to Engineer Omar Karamis. Today we are looking to the terrible case of Margot and her son. This case was shot in USA 2024, but thankfully not almost detectives have arrested the perpetrator. Before we dive in this video fascinating, please drop a like and leave me a comment. If you are new here, please encourage me subscribe. Thank you. This video is created for solely education and documentary purposes. It does not endorse or condone the criminal actions described within this video. On the morning of June 3, 2024, surveillance cameras at the North Olmsted Police Department in Ohio captured Bionca Ellis, a 32-year-old woman. Arriving at the building, Bionca had come to the station to discuss retrieving personal belongings that had not been returned to her after her release from custody just a few days earlier. On May 31, 2024, when she met with the desk sergeant, she was informed that the officer responsible for her arrest was not on duty that day and she would need to wait for their return to proceed with the matter. Although Bionca's face showed signs of frustration upon hearing this news, her behavior did not indicate anything unusual. After a brief conversation, she left the station. What happened after her departure was entirely unexpected. No one inside or outside the station could have predicted the actions Bionca would take in the following minutes. Actions that would shock everyone. Bionca traveled along Ohio State Road, heading to where the Volunteers of America safety store with a specific goal in mind. Her journey wasn't about shopping, but she intended to steal a set of knives. With confident steps and without raising the slightest suspicion, she walked into the store and she began browsing the shelves like any ordinary customer. Despite her undisclosed intentions, her movements were calculated and deliberate. Nothing in her demeanor or actions gave away her true motives. After leaving the thrift store, she headed to the adjacent Giant Eagle supermarket. She moved with the steady steps, yet no one noticed that she now held a large kitchen knife in her hand. Just like in the thrift store, she passed by the people without attracting any attention. Without anyone noticing, Bionca successfully acquired what she came for. The knives which were part of the kitchen were now in her possession. She is wandering through the store holding the knife, searching for her target. Now she found it. At around 2:58 p.m., Bionca saw suddenly Margot. Margot, a 38-year-old woman accompanied by her 3-year-old son Julian. Margot and her son were out shopping as a part of their usual daily routine. As soon as Bionca laid eyes on them, she seemed affected by something. She paused for a moment, then turned with measured steps, and she began following them as if she intended to observe them or perhaps pursue some other unclear goal. Bionca Ellis first headed to the store's exit door with calculated steps and stopped there for a few seconds, as if she was carefully observing her surroundings. Standing by the door, she seemed to be waiting for the right moment. Her eyes fixed on Margot and her son Julian. The moment they approached the door, preparing to leave, Bionca started moving lightly behind them, as if she intended to follow them to their next destination. Margot exited the door, heading toward the parking lot while pushing her shopping cart. She advanced calmly toward her car, busy steering the cart and calming little Julian, who was seated in the cart seat. Moments later, Bionca appeared behind her, walking steadily and holding the knife concealed carefully. While Margot was busy loading her purchases into her car, chaos erupted. Bionca suddenly attacked Julian ferociously, using a sharp knife in the face and the back. At that moment, Margot realized what was happening. She rushed to the shopping cart, trying to pull Julian away from the danger. However, Bionca did not hesitate and she stopped Margot in the shoulder. Margot began screaming for help and nearby shoppers heard her cries.
911, what is your emergency?
There's a lady with a knife stabbing somebody in the north.
She's stabbing somebody?
Yeah.
Do you have a description of her?
Yeah, she's a black female. We got eyes on her. She's walking towards Lorraine.
Okay, she's outside now?
She's outside walking
Okay.
with a knife in hand.
Quickly dialing the police, within moments, both the police and the paramedics arrived.
Get these off? So, yeah. Get that off. Good. Good. All right. Is there a halo tester on it? Okay. Is there anything else on the face? All right. Shaman naked. Good?
Let's go.
Yes, all Westlake guys.
Ready?
Let me know when you're ready.
Let's get him on the car.
Yeah, let me know when you're ready. Here we go. All right, you ready? Ready? Ready, three? Somebody get a beat, two. Ready? Get the somebody up. Get up. Let's go. Go, go, go. Good. Good, good, good.
Keep doing CPR. We're going to get our pads on.
Okay. Okay.
Medic, come in here and relieve him.
Yeah, from there.
Medic, come in and relieve him of his chest compression.
You gotta take it back. You got this.
Get him on out. Go take her to a car right now. Hey, somebody go get mom. She doesn't need to see this. Ready? Here you go. Are you mom? Where are you sitting? Hey, we need a second. Hey, I have a foot. Hey, T. Yeah. Hey, Snort. Get a statement from him.
If you saw this, come to me. If not, you guys can clear the area.
Yep.
If you saw this, come to me. If you guys have nothing to do with this, go ahead and go home.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You saw?
See this?
We were sitting right over there. We heard her screaming instantly ran over.
So you didn't see the actual
You didn't see
crime?
the actual crime?
Thank you very much. Guys.
Okay.
Have a great day, okay?
chest seal on the back.
We have a chest seal on the back. Not that good.
Don't fall.
Check that chest seal. We don't seal that seal.
The scene was chaotic. When the police arrived with the people crashing in all directions, the officer waited for the ambulance, and when its flashing light appeared, they quickly proceeded to the incident site. There, on the ground lay Julian and his mother, their bodies soaked in blood. The medical team began working efficiently and proficiently, assessing and addressing the injuries quickly. The officer stood by, ready to assist the medics, hoping that both Julian and his mother would survive the ordeal. Julian and his mother were placed in the ambulance, and the paramedics sped toward the hospital. Determined to save what they could, Julian and his mother went to the hospital following the incident that occurred. Meanwhile, officers began questioning witnesses who had seen the incident. The witnesses gathered around as the officers meticulously recorded their statement, trying to obtain precise detail about what had happened. The officer asked the witnesses about the moments leading up to the incident and any details that might help clarify the picture. The atmosphere was tense and filled with anxiety as everyone was eager to know exactly what had transpired. The testimonies vary between detailed descriptions of the events and some personal impressions, but it was clear that the incident had left a profound impact on them. One of the witnesses, a man wearing an orange shirt, recounted the horrific attack on Julian and his mother. The man began narrating what happened in detail, describing to the officer how Bionca, who appeared to be in a state of frenzy, attacked them with a sharp knife. He said in a trembling voice, "I saw her rushing toward them, her eyes full of anger. They had no time to react, and suddenly the knife was plunging into their bodies." Meanwhile, another team of the police officers launched an intensive pursuit of the suspect. After receiving detailed descriptions of her appearance, they deployed officers across the area, working to cordon off surrounding streets, determined to capture her despite any challenges in one of the streets. The police managed to apprehend her quickly, thanks to the accurate description provided by callers and witnesses. Bionca was found laying on the ground, surrounded by the police officers, with their weapons ready and aimed at her, fully prepared for any attempted resistance or escape. She was carefully restrained, placed on the ground and securely handcuffed. The police meticulously searched her, ensuring she was not concealing any weapon or tool that could be used to escape or resist. Bionca was captured and brought under the control of the law.
You got a med kit?
Okay. Roll her on the side. You're good. Who's got a med kit in the front?
We gotta get her up.
We have a female in custody.
Are you bleeding? Are you hurt anywhere?
Female in custody, 1504.
Knife right there.
5217, I'm out.
Now let's get her up.
Here you go, man. Hold you up, okay? Grab your other arm.
11, do you have someone there with you?
We're gonna lift you up, okay?
Stand up, okay?
1, 2, 3, stand up.
Please.
Stand up. Come on. Get up.
En route. 14's en route with the exit.
All right, let's put her in the back of my
Hang
car.
on, I'm gonna check her right here.
Let's go to Giant Eagle.
Okay.
Fire's been dispatched.
We're pulling to the lot.
You good with that?
Yeah.
Walk her back this way.
52 LO3, I got 3 units.
Slide on.
1719 myself. At Giant Eagle. In the parking lot. Third aisle, if you got EMS coming. We don't have anything here for shit. Petro, out in the parking lot. We're out in the parking lot.
Take a seat. I'm gonna crank up the AC for you, okay?
We gotta get some tape, rip this off. Okay, tape.
The attack happened swiftly and violently, that resulting in a double tragedy. Although Marco miraculously survived, but sadly, Julian succumbed to his injuries, and he died to the hospital. Bionca, who found herself back at the same police station she had left less than an hour earlier, faced a series of serious charges. These included 2 counts of premeditated murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, endangering the children, tampering with the evidence, and a misdemeanor theft. Bionca was asked several questions.
Do you have an attorney? You do? Do you have the money or means to hire an attorney? Have you received your indictment?
I don't.
Okay. Have you read it? You have not read it.
I read
Okay.
it to you back there.
We have a copy here. You can read it.
I don't want to.
You don't want to read it. Are you willing to accept that the public defender has read it to you?
I asked her not to.
I'm sorry.
I asked her not to.
You asked her not to. Well, but she did read it to you, correct?
No.
She didn't read it to you.
I read it.
Okay, well, we can read it in open court.
Also in the courtroom, talked to Jared Wood, who is the father of the family. Jared Wood, Julian's grandfather and Margot's husband, he addressed the court with the words filled with the pain and the sorrow, saying, "Your Honor, on that day a week ago, everything was taken from us. Nothing in this world can compensate for the loss of my son. The pain of my wife and I in you is indescribable, and even our other children live under the shadow of the horrific tragedy. We are utterly devastated. This is the least that can be done to ensure she remains behind the bars. The world cannot be safe as long as the minister is free."
Good morning, sir. Could you start with your name?
My name is Jared Wood, father of the deceased, husband of Margot. Your Honor, that day, 1 week ago, she took everything from us. There's nothing that could ever replace my son, or anything that my wife and I, even our other kids, are going through. It's horrendous. And I really wish no bail, period, or extend it to the max limit possible that you can, at the very least. Just do whatever you can to keep this monster behind bars.
Thank you, sir.
Bionca's trial for the murder committed a few months earlier is scheduled to take place. However, her defense team argued that she was unfit to stand the trial. In September 2024, just 3 months after the crime, the presiding judge approved a request for her mental health evaluation. Following a 20-day psychological assessment, Bionca was diagnosed with an unspecified schizophrenia spectrum disorder and other psychological issues. The doctor concluded that she was currently unable to participate in her trial or assist her defense team. The report confirmed that her mental disorder prevented her from effectively cooperating with her lawyer. The doctor noted with that the proper medication for her psychotic disorders, she could regain fitness to stand trial within the legally permissible time frame. This was not the first time Bionca had interacted with the law enforcement. On the day of the crime, she was already at the police station due to her previous arrest. However, her first encounter with the police dates back to February 2024, when the Cleveland Police Department responded to a report of disturbance at a women's shelter when she was detained at that time. In March 2024, the Osceola County Sheriff's Office received a report from a hotel in Kissimmee, Florida, about Bionca, who attempted to book a room without paying and she refused to leave when she was asked. At that time, Bionca was homeless. When the police arrived, she insisted on staying at the hotel and refused to leave unless she was arrested, seeking temporary shelter. "Officer, do you refuse to leave the property?" Bionca, "Yes." "Officer, why are you refusing to leave?" Bionca, "Because it's cold outside and I have nowhere to go." "Officer, so you are refusing to leave the property because you are homeless?" Bionca, yeah. Officer, do you have any family here or anyone who can help you? Bionca, no. I am not from here. I was just on vacation. Officer, all right, then we will need to escort you out of the hotel. Bionca, wait. Will you take me my belongings too? After the conversation, Bionca continued to refuse to leave the hotel, asserting she had nowhere to go. As a result, the officer had to take action, handcuffing Bionca and transporting her to the police station, where the situation was handled according to the legal procedures. On May 9, 2024, the Olmsted Police Department responded to a report of a woman struggling off a wheelchair near a busy road close to the location where the Julian and his mother's crime would later occur. Upon arriving at the scene, the officers identified the woman as Bionca. The interaction began amicably, with officers asking Bionca for the personal detail, to which she cooperated. However, during identity verification, they discovered an active arrest warrant for her due to probation violations related to a previous safety charges. Consequently, she was detained and taken for questioning at that time.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm going over here to the bus stop.
You're okay though? Somebody called because they were concerned about you.
Yeah, I kind of get lightheaded from my medicine.
5221, I'm out. Do you need assistance at all? Or you need an ambulance or anything? Are you feeling alright?
No, I think the temperatures is getting to be just right.
Okay. Do you have an ID on you just so I can tell them that you're alright? Thank you. Copy. Alright, Bionca, you know you got warrants? Girl, I don't know. They're
probably for here, yeah.
Yeah, so we gotta check on those, alright? You got anything crazy on you? No guns, knives, drugs, bombs? Nothing like that? Alright, I'm gonna cuff you in the front, okay? That's fair? Go ahead, face me for a second. Right here. Thank you, ma'am. I don't want to pinch you.
The audience is asking themselves in one question. That question, what motive behind this horrific accident? Although we may never fully understand the true motive behind the Bionca action, but examining the circumstances surrounding the incident offers some clues. It is evident she suffered from severe mental health issues that went untreated, and her homelessness created a catastrophic mix that likely contributed to the crime. It is possible, as in previous instances, that Bionca sought to spend time in a jail. However, she might have become frustrated with her repeated release after each arrest, and she decided to commit a crime severe enough to ensure she stayed behind the bars for a long time. Despite her mental health struggles, her condition did not prevent her from planning and executing the crime. Of course, this is merely a personal theory, as no official motive for the crime has been announced. However, what transpired might have been tragic expression of complete psychological breakdown. Adding to the tragedy is a random selection of her victims. The last question that we will conclude in our video: what lesson can we learn this story? The lesson we can learn this story: whenever you must be vigilant and you must look what is going in your surroundings. The biggest mistake that Margot made, that she was never looked at what was happening around her. Finally, published in this video 2025, Bionca was not stood at the trial. For the sake of her mental health, what most surprised you while watching this video? Write your idea in the comment section. Be safe. Thank you for your watching.